Donna Goines, a Kenyatta novel, Crime Partners, Chapter 8. The apartment was still dark when Carol got up and pulled back the drapes. The sun came in, flooding the room with the morning's rays. Jackie remained stretched out on the bed, watching her as she moved about the room. She wasn't a beauty, but she had a personality, and that's what counted in his book. Ever since he had met the woman, he had begun to become involved with her. Their relationship was the cause of his getting so involved with Kenyatta, a relationship that he wasn't too happy about. "You think Billy is up yet?" she asked, climbing across the bed and kissing him on the cheek. Jackie grinned. "I could care less if Billy is up or not. Why are you worried about Billy this morning?" "I was going to fix some breakfast for everybody, honey. You want 3 eggs or 4?" He watched her try to put her hand behind her back in a self-conscious move. Since she only had 3 fingers on her right hand, she was self-conscious about it. Jackie pulled her arm from around her back and kissed her deformed hand. She blushed as she tried to pull away. "Please, honey, don't do that," she begged as she struggled with him. "You know I'm embarrassed when you do that." "Fuck that shit," he growled. "I want you to stop hiding your hand behind your back. When you stop hiding it, I'll stop embarrassing you." Carol smiled down at him. "Okay, Jack and the bean sack. I did where you were coming from. Now, how about us getting up and having some food?" Jackie let her go reluctantly. He watched her walk across the floor until she went to the living room. He listened and learned and heard the exchange between her and Billy. Yeah, he told himself, it was time to get up. Maybe he'd take in a show or something. He thought of a movie made him The thought of a movie made him remember the shape of his bankroll. Working with Kenyatta didn't put any money in their pockets. That was for sure. That dedication shit was for the birds. Fuck killing all the dope men in the city. He could care less about who sold dope. It would be good to knock them off for their bread, though. That was what he'd been waiting for. That, and when Kenyatta finally got his hands on that list he was always talking about so they could make a hit on the big men. Any big men should be loaded with dough. They had to keep money around the house in big stacks because it came in that way. Nobody could run to the bank with 10 grand every day and not get busted for it. No, Kenyatta might not be worried about the money, but he and Billy sure were. They had gotten in so tight with Kenyatta that he would send them out on a job and put one of them in charge. He knew now from experience that they were pros. "Come on, nigga. Get your long ass out of that bed," Billy yelled from the doorway. "Carol must be wearing your ass out, man." Billy silently watched Jackie climb out of the bed. Carol was good for the man, Billy thought, as he studied his partner. She was the first girl he had ever known Jackie to allow to stay with him. He had let some women stay overnight, but after that he sent them on their way. Carol, for some reason, had touched that spot inside of the big man. "Come on in, brother," Jackie called out as he put on his pants. "Carol's getting us some grub together, man. Why don't you find yourself a seat? On the bed there if you want to. Just push that shit out of your way." For some reason, he felt good this morning. He generally got up wanting some dope, but this morning he didn't care for the stuff. As he thought about it, he realized that it had been 3 or 4 days since he had wanted a snort in the morning. Ever since Carol came along, actually, he told Billy this. "Yeah, man, I noticed that fact that you wasn't blowing as much as you been," Billy replied quickly. "It's showing up on you, too. You're gaining back some of that weight you were losing, my man." Jackie grinned over at his partner. "Yeah, man, she seems to be agreeable to my system, don't she?" Both men laughed together, then Jackie continued. "I've been thinking, Billy. We're gonna have to knock off something, brother. Our rent is coming due and I don't have any share of the bread." "Shit, I don't have mine either," Billy replied evenly. "But we'll find something to knock over before then, I'm sure of it." "Yeah, but I don't want to have to knock off some poor bastard for petty change. I want the next job to be big enough so that we don't have to work for quite a while." Billy shook his head in agreement. "Why you think we've been wasting our time buttering up Kenyatta mad ass for? Not for the joy of it, I hope," he replied shortly. Now that we got the guy's faith, he'll loan us the men we need to knock off that food stamp place. I hope you're right about that, Jackie replied. I know you and Kenyatta have been talking, but has he said anything about it? Yeah, baby boy, he sure has. You know, he needs that 10 grand to pay for that list he wants so bad. Damn, that's a lot of money for just a gang of names. But he's really going to set the cash out. So he wants up on a big job. We talked about it even to the point of his helping plan the thing. You know that big black bastard can really plan something whenever he sets his mind to it, Billy stated, removing his cigarettes and lighting one. Be sure you use the ashtray, nigga. I don't want my room like yours, Jackie said good-naturedly. You know, partner, if the disorder of my room disturbs you, all you have to do is loan me Carol for a little while. I'm sure she can straighten out the small matter. No thanks, Billy. She ain't no maid. When you take off this big caper, try hiring you a good maid. It shouldn't be too hard if your buck is right. Hey in there, you guys going to talk all morning or eat? Carol called out from the dining room. Both men got up quickly and went towards the kitchen. Carol had taken the time to set the dining room table for them. They both smiled. They weren't used to getting such wonderful treatment. The breakfast consisted of eggs and bacon, plus some toast. She had steaming hot coffee waiting for them too. The two men ate in silence, enjoying the well-prepared food. Carol watched them eat. Happy to be wanted, she enjoyed the company of these men who got along so well. Are you going over to Kenyatta's today? She inquired as the men washed down their food with the hot coffee. Neither man answered her right off. Jackie glanced over at Billy and waited for him to reply. Well, Carol asked, has the cat got both of your tongues? What do you think about it, Jackie? Billy asked, still undecided. It's not what I think. It's what kind of shape we're in. I think we had better go over and get something together with the man. I mean, I'm down to my last $10 bill, Billy. I don't know how you're fixed for cash, but my bankroll is finished. Billy nodded his head in agreement. It's kind of bad then. I'm damn near in the same shape. I got about $25, but it ain't gonna last no time. He pushed back from the table. I say we run over and talk to him about that deal we were kicking around. Jackie, I got a few dollars, honey, Carol stated softly, so that he had to almost lean over to hear what she said. What? He exclaimed, but before she repeated herself, he continued, proving that he had heard what she said after all. Nah, baby, I don't want to take your chump change. In fact, I don't really need it, Carol. I'm going to get some cash together real soon, but if I should get uptight, I'll let you know. He smiled at her, letting her know that he appreciated the offer. Damn, Billy exclaimed, stretching out on the couch. That fool really hit the spot. I'm so full I can hardly move. We're going to have to start having you get it together for us more often, Carol. He opened up his belt to give his stomach room. I shouldn't have drunk all that damn coffee. I'm not used to eating a big breakfast, you know. Jackie, she called out, when you go over to Kenyatta's, can I go too? I don't feel like going home and sitting around, so I might as well get out into the streets with you guys. She knew that Jackie was actually jealous of the time she spent at Kenyatta's club, but she had been a member for over a year now, and as she told him, she wasn't about to give it up. She believed in what the man was doing and trying to clean up the ghettos of dope pushers and pimps. No other organization was really doing anything, and she could see the results of Kenyatta's work. He had cleaned the streets of whores since the pimps had moved the girls. It had been too much trouble fighting with Kenyatta's dedicated men. They were fools, so the pimps thought, but dangerous fools. With his stomach protruding further than necessary, Jackie came in the front room and flopped down in the chair. We might as well get on over there and lay it down to Kenyatta, man, because we got to have the bread. Billy let out a sigh, then pushed up from the chair. Let's get on with it then, he stated, tightening his belt. Damn, when you make up your mind, you don't waste no time, do you? Jackie replied. Hey, Carol, if you don't want to get left behind, you better shake a leg. We getting ready to pull up, honey. Before the words were out of his mouth, Carol came running out of the bedroom. I'm ready, honey. I was just straightening up things. She was smiling brightly. Jackie took her arm and led her out of the apartment. Billy followed behind, closing the door and locking it. They piled in the car with Billy behind the steering wheel. When they reached Kenyatta's club, there was another group of men loitering outside. This time they were recognized by a few of the men. Names were mentioned, and one man spoke to Carol, bringing a scowl to Jackie's face. The girl at the desk was a different one this time, but Billy and Jackie still knew her. They walked past the desk and knocked on the door. Come on in, Kenyatta called out. A small group of people went in, closing the door behind them. No one was in the office except Kenyatta's woman and him. What's happening, baby? Kenyatta said from behind the desk, where he was going over a diagram. I got something here you guys might be interested in, he said as they came up. He stood up and showed them the blueprint he unfolded on his desk. It was the layout of the food stamp building. Billy smiled broadly. I got to give you credit, Kenyatta. You don't waste any time, man. That's what we came over here to talk to you about, and you're already on the case. Kenyatta smiled back at the men, revealing beautiful, evenly spaced teeth. When it comes to big cash, man, I can't afford to waste time. I need money just like you do. This joint here takes plenty of that shit to run, plus my farm. He grinned as the men looked surprised. Yeah, brother, I got a farm. Where do you think I train my people at? Not in this motherfucker, I hope. What kind of fucking farm? Billy asked, not really believing Kenyatta yet. Just an ordinary farm, brother. Out in what you city boys would call a rural area. Out around 14 Mile Road. We ain't got but 20 acres of good farming land, but it's ours. We go out and picnic at times, ride a few horses we got out there and shit like that. Sometimes when we have dope fiends join up, we send them out there to clean out their systems. You know, the good clean country air and all that shit. But it's true. It's nice and clean out there. A man can get his thoughts together. Hey man, someday you got to take us out there, Jackie said excitedly. Kenyatta looked at him seriously. I don't mean any disrespect, brothers, but you know I trust you two just as much as I trust anyone in my organization. But we don't allow outsiders on the farm. You have to be in the organization to be able to go out there. Bullshit, Billy stated coldly. You're the fucking organization, Kenyatta. You make the rules. If you say we can go, we can go. Ain't nobody to say no except you. Kenyatta had to grin, even though he didn't want to admit the man's words were true. Okay, you win, Nellen. If you guys ever need a hiding place, I'll personally put the farm at your disposal. Good. That's a whole lot better. When we fuck around with a guy, we like for him to be for real with us, because we're going to be for real with him, Billy replied quickly. Now let's get down to cases. When can we take this caper off? I see you've been checking it out, so what's the damn hold up now? Only this, Kenyatta said. Have you guys ever heard about a dope pusher called Little David? I have reason to believe he works for a big pusher or supplier who goes by the name of King Fisher. Jackie let out a whistle. Man, you're really talking about a big nigga when you talk about King Fisher. He's big shit, alright. They don't come any bigger. Not if they're black anyway. Kenyatta drummed the pencil against his desktop as he listened. The nigga is really that big, huh? His whole body seemed to be tense as he waited for the reply. He's bigger than big. He's the man. If he stopped handling stuff in this city, it would be damn near dried up, Jackie continued, not noticing his partner trying desperately to catch his eye. I wonder why none of my boys would tell me the real about this cat. Maybe that's it. They thought he was too damn big for us to touch. Man, Jackie added quickly, not paying heed to Billy's loud moan. The guy's too big for you or us to go after. He's got some of the best hitmen in the world working for him. We are small potatoes when it comes to him. He don't bullshit, King. He come down on you so hard, man, you wouldn't know what hit you. From the glare that came into Kenyatta's eyes, Jackie should have been warned that his words were only building up Kenyatta's desire to hit the man. The untouchables were the ones he wanted. Well, Billy said, trying to change the subject, we ain't got the time now to worry about no dope dealer, no way. We're down to the point where we have to take off this job, because we need money just to eat and sleep. Kenyatta continued as if he hadn't heard what Billy said. Now this punk, little David, he's supposed to work for this guy, King Fisher. He's one of his best pushers, so they tell me. Now this punk has been warned twice to freeze from pushing junk downtown, but he hadn't paid any heed to it. Twice, Kenyatta said, repeating himself. We don't warn anybody more than twice. After that, his ass belongs to us. As he leaned on the desk with his arms under his chin, Billy stared Kenyatta in the eyes for one of the few times in his life. Maybe you didn't understand me, brother, but I said we ain't got the time to worry about no dope deal. This is your thing, man. Now, if we weren't pressed for dough like we were, or like we are, we might have the time to check this out for you, but not now. We are pressed. You understand me, Kenyatta? Pressed for eating and sleeping cash. If we don't come up with it, we won't even have a pad to call our own. Ah, yes, I dig where you're coming from, Billy, but it's not as bad as you think. Kenyatta leaned back in the chair and pulled open his desk drawer. He removed a bundle of money that was still in a wrapper. He tossed it on the desk in front of Billy. Now, there's exactly $500 in that bundle. If by chance you're interested in what I've got for you, it's yours. Plus 2 more bundles the same size as that one. All 3 of them are yours if you want the job. What job? Billy asked, not bothering to pick up the bundle. He knew that anything Kenyatta paid for was trouble. If it wasn't, Kenyatta would have some of his own men out on the job. I want this punk little David hit tonight. If it's at all possible, Kenyatta answered, closing his desk drawer. What I'd like to know, Kenyatta, is why wouldn't you save yourself some cash by sending your own people out on this job instead of paying us to do it for you? Billy inquired as he picked up the bundle and thumbed through it. That's a good question, Kenyatta answered slowly. Why don't I use my own men? It's simple. I don't have any people down here at the present time who are professional enough to send out on a job like this. Yes, up on the farm are people who could handle it, but they're busy training some new recruits. Now, the few people I do have down here have the nerve, but not the experience. You and your friend have both, the nerve and experience. So I'd rather pay you to handle the job. That way I know it's done right. For the first time, Billy glanced over at his partner to see how he was taking it. Jackie shrugged his shoulders, letting Billy know he didn't care one way or the other. It was up to Billy. If he took the job, they would handle it. Make it $2 grand even, Kenyatta, and we'll take care of it for you, Billy replied. As he broke open the pack and split the money down into 2 even piles, he didn't even wait for Kenyatta to answer before he tossed his partner half the money. As Kenyatta watched this exchange between the 2 men, he slowly smiled, that cold, calculating smile that never seemed to reach his eyes. If I had a dozen men like these 2, he was thinking, I could control the whole city. Well, then I take it we have a deal, Billy, he said, standing. Betty, would you and Carol mind running upstairs and fixing my friends a drink? I think we could all use one right about now. He reached down and removed the brown folder from his desk. I believe you'll find everything you'll need to know and hear about little David, Billy. In fact, it's got everything in it but the time he's going to die. And I think you and Jackie could furnish that little bit of information now.